Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, evidence of climate change. Mbao Island slowly succumbs to rising sea waters. Student charged for QVS dormitory fire. And Fiji Exports Council looks to growing trade through agriculture. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. The Chiefly Island of Mbao is experiencing the devastating effects of climate change. Rising sea waters have burst through the seawalls and the shoreline is moving inward towards the village.
The small island off the east coast of Viti Levu has lost significant portions of land to rising seawater.
The difference that I see now is that the seawall was about there, and we used to play and swim just about there. But now, at a high tide, the seawater has eaten away the soil. As you can witness, it's moving very close to this house.
Home of the legendary Chief Ratu Seru Thakumbau, the island, which is approximately the size of 4 playing fields, is slowly giving in to climate change.
You can imagine in a few years' time, when we grow older, all the seawalls will be destroyed and maybe our island will be washed away too.
Older members of the Chiefly Islands continue to experience major changes, particularly the level of waves crashing onto the village turf.
We at Mbao feel the change in weather patterns. High tide levels around the island have been surpassed in recent times, as other countries in the Pacific are experiencing.
The community of Mbao Island remain optimistic that the national climate change mitigation efforts will protect it from further loss of the village ground. Mikolonga, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the second Building Resilience Summit on Climate Change will be opened by the Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama tomorrow. The ceremony will be held at Narewa village in Nandi. The 5-day summit will look at mitigating against climate change. A Form 6 student of Queen Victoria School has been charged with arson and will be appearing in the Nausori Magistrates Court tomorrow. Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tunravu says the student is in custody at the Corvo police station. It's believed the 17-year-old was unhappy with one of his peers and set fire to his suitcase. This then spread through the rest of the dormitory, which, as it happens, wasn't insured. The belongings of 44 students were destroyed. Total damage is estimated at about $90,000. There is two other students, who were questioned earlier have been released. There is potential for the agriculture sector to grow if farmers who want to be part of the export market are familiar with international standards. This is where the Fiji Exports Council comes in, training those who are interested to venture into international trade. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
The Fiji Export Council is keen to expose small exporters and assist with their growth. The council believes that local farmers need help in preparing and packaging their produce so as to not only look appealing but also meet strict health requirements. Two such commodities are honey and noni juice.
You have the noni opportunities in the noni, you have the honey, that are being, but it's not being exported because, the packaging is all wrong. They do not understand what's required in the market. But these are potential commodities or products which Fiji can export. So it's just a matter of looking at all these markets, hence why we're looking at the smaller exporters, because the big exporters have a lot of standards that they've invested in terms of quality assurance, all certified, and you can see it on their product. But it's the smaller people that we would like also to see them grow and participate in exporting.
Davumbati says they are working with local honey producers to ensure that international standards and requirements are met. Another key area is trying to expose small exporters to the large international market.
We also would like to see a bit of participate in trade missions. We would like to take some of these exporters abroad. The market is out there. It's just a matter of taking yourself to the market, see for yourself the requirement that is needed, so you can actively produce a product that will really be competitive in the market.
According to the Vumbati, shipping routes in the Pacific are also key to growing exports.
Shipping services to PNG, at the moment, it's all transshipped through Australia. There's a lot of interest shown for people, service providers, to provide a direct sailing. This would be good for export. But overall, in terms of export, all stakeholders, need to be involved. We need to review all the challenges and all the impediments that we have at the moment.
The Fiji Export Council says it welcomes any farmer, small or big, who's genuinely interested in value-adding and exporting their produce. Wasita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
A 30-year-old man died after a fight in a nightclub on Friday evening. He was rushed to CWM Hospital after the incident, but later died from his injuries. A 42-year-old man who was alleged to have assaulted the deceased is in police custody. Teenagers who become pregnant without proper planning are at a risk of mental health issues. Councillor Selina Kuruleva says in most situations, there's very little or no support from family and friends, putting young women under immense pressure. Shireen Lata reports.
Teenage pregnancies have long been a touchy subject in Fiji, and girls who do become pregnant are often isolated by society. Selina Kuruleda, who has counselled many such cases over the years, says people still have negative perceptions about teenage pregnancies.
If the parents of either party don't know about the pregnancies, how do we tell the parents? And if we do tell the parents, what do we tell them? Was it a planned one, not planned? Do the boy's family know?
Yesterday, President Ratuipeli Nailatikau highlighted at a conference that teenage pregnancies make up 10% of all pregnancies in Fiji. Unplanned pregnancies are high risk, as some may seek unsafe abortions and take the risk of serious complications and even death. According to Kuruleda, another challenge confronting young single mothers is the upbringing of the child and acceptance into society. While some live a life of shame, some are even forced to give the child up for adoption.
It affects their self-esteem, it affects their confidence, it affects their whole prospect or the outlook on their future and their life. Mentally, some of them may feel really rejected and unwanted by society, unwanted by their own families if they're thrown out. Some of them feel that may start thinking that this is the end of the world.
According to medical statistics, the use of contraceptives such as condoms has dropped to about 30%. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Coming up, setting the standard, Education Ministry calls on teachers to step up.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nimula methango nimilote na isoro tambua na makiao minarua kinaona na vya moniti kina vakarambuka rongo mena vya sana kina vipa ko barota kinin reko malolo ena radio Fiji 1 na wongani pia niano ngai na makiao kina.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Police in the Western Division will be interviewing parents of a 3-year-old child who was hit by a car in Ba on Friday afternoon. The child crossed the road from in front of a parked bus and was hit by a car being driven by a 42-year-old man. The 3-year-old suffered multiple injuries and fractures on his left hand and is admitted at the Lautoka hospital. Police spokesperson Atunaisa Sokomuri says this could be a possible case of parental negligence. Meanwhile, a 3-year-old boy is admitted in the Lambasa hospital after he was hit by a taxi driven by a 42-year-old man. The Education Ministry is setting higher standards for the education system in Fiji. Speaking at the Lautoka, Nandi and Nyasawa Heads Conference at Vunda on Friday, Ministry Permanent Secretary Dr. Bridgelal reminded teachers that their role is crucial in achieving this. Akasita Tale has more.
A child can make great progress in life if they have good teachers, regardless of what backgrounds they come from.
That is why everything the government is doing in education affirms the importance of teaching. We have introduced the teacher inspection just to ensure proper teaching and learning takes place.
However, the ministry says there are some concerns. These are school inventories and internal school policies. Of particular interest was the sending of children home during school hours.
Water problems at schools. We have made it clear that you have to buy water tanks from the free grant we have provided, and not to ring me as soon as the taps run dry and say we want to close the school.
Dr. Bridgelal says students and teachers' performances will also reflect on the standard of the school.
Do your schools have computers? Does your school have a telephone? Does your school have an office? Do you have a fax machine? Do you have an email address? Does the school have a staff toilet? These are some of the benchmark of a good school today.
Representatives from around 84 primary schools and 21 high schools from Nandi, Lautoka and Nyasawa attended today's workshop. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come in sports, Ba remains unbeaten in day 2 of the Battle of the Giants. And top local basketballer awaits major contract in Israel.
Isambolo binaka, na dango wadi soni dalai, na makio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, na moni tingina por rombuka, na Mbula FM, na bandu na serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो FBC पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back. You're watching FBC Sports. When it comes to major tournaments, everyone talks about the big guns. But today at Subrel Park in Lambasa, day 2 of the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants tournament belonged to Nandronga. They held Nandi to a 0-0 draw, and the shocking result has got them fired up for their next match. Elena McDonald reports.
Mani McCoy comes in with a free kick and Sakeo Taganatha saves. Sakeo Taganatha dives to his
like father, like son. Nandronga goalkeeper Sakeo Tanganeva yesterday made his debut for the Stallions, but today showed that the apple didn't fall far from the tree as he emulated similar plays like his father Joe Korovitu, a top former national and Nandronga rep, to keep Nandi at bay.
We discussed a lot of soul searching, and we played very tactical football. Like we wanted to change formation in the next half, so from 5-3-2 went to 1-4-4-1, and it made dividends for us.
Still yet to secure a win, Nandi believe this weekend simply wasn't theirs.
The same, we tried, we played most of the game, but we could not score, and we even had a penalty, we could not score, so it's just that extra luck is not on our side, and I hope we'll go back and rectify those mistakes, and the pool is still wide open, no doubt about it, so let's hope everything falls in our favor and we do well in Ba.
Nandronga lost 1-0 to Ba yesterday. But with their newfound confidence, they're out to make a killing next weekend.
We'll make it upset because the boys are pulling up, pushing up. They're responding to what we've been doing in training and what we have in the blackboard session. We are very positive and confident that we'll beat Suva.
Following this weekend's results, top spots is still wide open, with Ba so far the unbeaten team. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
In front of close to 7,500 spectators in Lambasa, Ba proved they will be the toughest team to beat this coming week in the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants. A 2-0 win over Suva today showed the Men in Blacks maintaining their winning form after day 2. Just the start that Ba need heading into the second leg at Govind Park. In the last BOG match of the day, Lambasa became the second unbeaten team in the tournament. The Bambasinga Lions finished off the weekend on a high, defeating Rewa 2-0.
Peter Malaitonga with the header. And in the 31st minute of play, field still Koryak Apahanga. Apahanga turns and Koryak Apahanga has put Lambasa up by 2-0 in the 46th minute of play.
A convincing 35 points to 3 win in any semi-final is enough to boost the confidence of any team. And for Digicel Cup rugby defending champions Nandronga, their victory over Namosi on home soil yesterday was just that. The Stallions remain in fine form this season and will now await their winner from the Suva Nandi second semi-final, which will be played Saturday week. Nandronga raked in 2 penalty goals to Namosi's 1. Yesterday's action should give the other final contenders something to think about. The Stallions wreaked havoc to secure a bonus point.
And across it goes onto the right flank, and there's the reward for Dhavar. Dhavar gets across there, there's the extra man driving towards the corner, and the try is on. Samudar across longer inside the 22-metre line. They recycle across there, and in it goes yet again, and there is Tonga scoring.
Meanwhile, there's still no word from the Fiji Rugby Union on the stop order issued by the High Court. Rather than take time off, Fiji's first ever contracted basketballer Valerie Nainima has been using her time back home to develop the sport. She's waiting on a new deal that could see her moving from Germany to Israel. So with some time on her hands, she's doing all she can to upskill local players. Elena McDonald went courtside yesterday.
She hit the big time in the United States. Then it was pro ball in Germany. Now Israel awaits Fiji's top point guard.
One thing I know for sure, Israel's a higher league compared to Germany, but Germany is professional. But I'd like to test myself, you know, and a lot of the players I played in the States are in Israel, so it would be good to go back and just test myself.
The new season is expected to start around October, November. But in the meantime, she was at Rewanga's Eds Court to help steer the Ndavui Magic's women to a league victory. And from what she's seen so far, development has come a long way since her playing school days.
There's a lot of development going on right now, and especially in secondary schools. It's good to just see like the sport spread out because we have QVS and RKS. Never thought that would see that come to pass, but I'm happy. There's just a broader base of players.
With experience comes timely advice for any athlete looking to hit the big time.
A lot has to do with discipline. I think if you make up your mind that you want to, you know, go further up, you need to be disciplined. But we have the athleticism to be involved in the highest level.
She couldn't be further from the truth, and a symbol of hope for any Pacific Island athlete. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
Some showers were experienced over the Lau Group. Elsewhere, fine weather prevailed. A trough of low pressure lies slow moving over northern parts of northern Cooks and extends eastwards. And the good weather saw 31 degrees in Lambasa topping the chart, while neighbouring Savasava was the lowest with 27 degrees. Monday's going to start off with fine conditions in all centres. The capital city might see some early morning drizzle. But Tuesday, fine apart from brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, cool at night. And the headlines again. A sixth form student of Queen Victoria School has been charged with arson in relation to the dormitory fire. Bow Island shows signs of climate change as water levels creep closer inland, and a man has died in hospital after a fight in a Suva nightclub on Friday. To the poll question, and we're asking, should overseas soccer players participate in local tournaments? Visit www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's your news for tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. Modemanta.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।